cards and try to knock them off the table.
Pocket fours go into the muck.
It's just incredible, Matt. You're the best. Matt, you're the best. You were even dead to me.
Well, I'm calling it.
Of course, but...
Seaver a little bit jealous of Glance's aggression. Pat Pezin, the short stack at this three-handed table, just under 14,000 chips. Glance leads the way with over 85,000 chips, but no bounties. Meanwhile, the heads-up match between Perry Horwich and Faraz Jaka has been moved to an outer table. Jaka raised Horwich all in pre-flop and got a call. Horwich with 6-5 off. Jaka king 4.
Horwich down to 10 big blinds. Jaka looking for the knockout punch.
Just keep going the way the rest of our table went. You're definitely going to win.
I think I'll have to win a dozen of these. Maybe not a dozen, but...
The flop 4-10-10. Jaka with a pair of fours. Horwich zilch.
Jaka on the verge of his second straight bounty shootout final table.
Turn card is a 7. Horwich with a straight draw.
See, trying to keep it interesting.
The Ready Al just picks up some outs. Horwich needs a 3, 5, 6, or 8 to extend the match.
River card is an 8. He rivers a straight.
6, 7, 8.
Straight to
And he stays alive.
Well, let's keep playing.
Hey, if you don't cheer, I'm going to cheer for you. Come on.
Not exactly Matiso versus Helmuth. You've got to like their demeanor.
Perry with a long way to go. At table 6, Luis Vasquez holds 9-8 and has Greg DeBora all in and dominating his 9-deuce. Both paired their 9 on the turn. River card is a 4, and DeBora comes up short. He is knocked off in third place at table 6. Another Canadian goes out without any bounties.
I want to root against these Canadians, Lon, but I just can't.
Vasquez going heads up now against Canadian Peter Jetton.
I mean, just look at them. They're just so cute and cuddly.
A seat at the final table at stake. Back at our featured table, one of the 3 Canadians left in this event. Pat Pezin is the short stack, but he has a bounty to his credit. Scott Seaver looking to make his second straight bounty final table, has over 51,000 chips. Matt Glance is the chip leader. Action on Glance with ace-7 offsuit.
Glance with a degree in finance and international business administration from Temple University.
Raised to 2,100. Seaver with King-Jack in the small blind.
Seaver with a degree in computer science and economics from Brown.
2 guys who graduated. A call of 1,700. Pezin in the big blind.
Pezin plays bocce ball.
And he lays down his hand. Heads up, Glance and Seaver. The 2 big stacks at this table. The flop is deuce 10, 8, 2 spades. Glance still ahead with ace high.
Air versus air on that flop. Let's see which one of these finance majors can get the money.
Seaver with a left-handed gently tapping check. Matt Glance with the rare pinky check. Turn card now. 6 of clubs, misses both, keeps Glance in the lead. Seaver.
Seaver decides he who acts first will seize the assets.
He will take a stab at it. 4,000.
Maybe Glance is thinking, if I raise here, it's mine.
He's wondering if Seaver has any part of that board.
Seaver in his "you will not read my face" pose.
Glance makes the call. And we'll see a river card. The river is a king, and Seaver finds life with a pair of kings.
Well, Brown is a little better than Temple academically, and it pays off here on the river.
Seaver will act again.
Slowly but surely.
9,600.
A little more than 2/3 the pot. You know, Glance might call here thinking ace high is good. It's possible Seaver missed on a flush or straight draw, so you have to figure Seaver would have bet a flush draw on the flop.
Glance lays it down. The pot goes to Seaver.
Big fold. Especially against Scott. Sick live read or something? That's all it was. I mean, I could easily call. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
See, that I don't believe. I think this has to be the first time.
Seaver once again making noise at a bounty shootout. Welcome back to Connecticut and the North American Poker Tour Mohegan Sun Bounty Shootout. 3 players left at the feature table. Scott Seaver with almost 66,000 chips, right on the tail of the chip leader Matt Glance. Pat Pezin still the short stack. He looks down at pocket fours.
Pezin is actually vice president of the Canadian Bocce Association. Poker and bocce. I think that makes him a 2-sport star.
He is all in for his 13,400. Glance.
I call.
Can't see his cards, but he makes the call to Seaver now. And he'll lay down his 7 tray. And Peasant at risk. Glance turns over deuces. Peasant ahead with his 4s.
He's got 4s against it? So sick.
That's not that sick. How's that sick?
Oh, how much does that suck, though? Sucks so bad. That sucks so bad.
Make it sound like I won the hand already.
And Matt has deuces in this spot. I mean, Pep, what could go wrong?
I got both his suits, too. He doesn't have any flush draw.
Yeah. No flush draw.
What could go wrong?
Peasant at risk. And ahead, his 4s against the deuces of Matt Glantz. Trying to get this feature table to heads up. And what could go wrong, he says. A set of deuces for Glantz.
Yeah, on the list of what could go wrong, a deuce on the flop would be pretty high up there.
It would. All right, Peasant looking for help. Turn card is a 5, and he got a little help. Peasant with a gut shot straight draw.
3 or 4?
Good luck, Pat.
3 or 4 keeps Pat Peasant alive.
See the river card.
The river card is another 5. That means Glantz will collect the $5,000 bounty and put Pat Peasant on the rail.
Yeah, you should call it.
He outlasted his buddy Daniel Negreanu, and he got a bounty. What does Kid Poker got?
Thanks, I won one.
The final 2 here ready themselves for heads up as another Canadian falls.
We can't let them win at hockey and poker.
You said you're going to teach me some good stuff here.
No, I said you'll be able to learn a lot of stuff. I'm not going to teach you.
Oh, I just have the ability to discern it, you hope?
I have a feeling I will be able to learn too.
Yeah.
Scott Seaver should beware because in terms of life experience, Matt Glantz has already learned volumes about dealing with pressure when money is on the line.
I was an options trader for 10 years in the Philadelphia Stock Exchange. 20-something, 30-something-year-old guys with testosterone fighting for orders. Everyone's trying to make money. It's very high stress, and not too many people last more than a few years. I lasted 10 years doing it, so it was long enough. And by the early 2000s, poker was booming. I got interested just kind of as a hobby, and then just kind of fell into it. Oh, my God. The marketplace actually is a great training ground for poker because I'm kind of numb to the stress at this point. I've taken big losses in the market, taken big losses in poker. You got to think if there's one long session, it's just a call. I've been playing poker full time now for 5 years, and you play cash games, you play smaller tournaments. You know, there's a lot of days where you don't have that much money on the line. You get a chance like this once in a great while, and that's why we play poker.
He's got the wary look of a Wall Street warrior. Actually, he worked on the Philadelphia Exchange, but that's just Wall Street with cheesesteaks.
At table 4, Jason Mercier's in great shape to advance to the final table. His pocket aces are way ahead of the 2 9s held by Dr. Eli Berg, an ER physician just outside Boston. Turn card now is a 6, and Berg picks up a straight draw.
A little excitement.
Berg needs a 7, 8, or 9, or Jason Mercier is headed to the final table.
The river card is a king, and that will do it. Jason Mercier wins his table, knocking off Eli Berg. So Mercier wins $15,000 for his 3 bounties, $60,000 more for winning that table, and he'll have a chance for more bounty booty at the final table, along with a shot at the $350,000 winner-take-all first prize. The good times continue for Jason. Back to the Jocko Horwich heads-up duel. Perry Horwich has been stubborn. He's all in again with ace-jack. Jocko played jack, tray, and flop bottom pair. And Jocko calls to put the amateur at risk again.
Jack Junk has been good to Jocko. I'm glad Daniel's not here to see this.
All right, so Horwich trying to come from behind and double up again. Turn card is an 8. Jocko still ahead. Horwich got no help.
Horwich has to have an ace. Give him an ace.
The river card is a 5, and that will do it. Faraz Jocko winning table 5. Perry Horwich knocked out, and he'll go home with $10,000 for his 2 bounties.
That was fun.
Jack Junk gets Jocko to the final table again. When we return, the 3 remaining tables will battle for the last seats at the final table. People may come to the Mohegan Sun for the gaming, but it's the food that keeps them coming back. Sumptuous choices abound, from fine dining to casual fare. And, of course, there's plenty of local flavor. There's something for everyone here at Mohegan Sun. Back inside the poker room, just 3 heads-up tables remain. Let's take a look at how they stack up. Luis Vasquez in control of table 6. Sean Buchanan with a similar lead at table 3, while Matt Glantz and Scott Seaver are neck and neck at table 1, our feature table. 6 players will take a seat at the winner-take-all final table.
Win or lose, just still make my friend.
Glantz once was a Wall Street type. Seaver thought he'd be working on Wall Street one day.
I don't know if that's the case both ways.
Always my friend, Matt.
Heads-up action begins on Matt Glantz. Queen 8 of diamonds. Matt will raise it up to 2,200. Seaver with ace king.
Seaver on a hot streak of late, including winning the Doyle Brunson Classic and the LA Poker Classic high roller event.
Scott will repop it to 7,800 with the ace king.
Well, that re-raise says, I'll just take your 2,200 chips right here.
And Matt says, nope, I'll come along and try to beat you after the flop.
A stubborn options trader.
All right, here we go to the flop. It is 6-6-8. Glantz pairs his 8 to take the lead. Seaver first to act. He may think he's ahead.
Seaver springs into action.
He's going to test his I'm ahead theory. And bet a total of 6,200.
See, I would put Seaver on a big pocket pair here, and I would be wrong. Glantz is more poker educated than me.
Glantz makes the call, and Seaver thinking, I wonder if I am ahead. Turn card now. Tray of hearts. Glantz keeps his advantage.
Tray of hearts on the turn never changes anything. Everlon. Seaver springs into action again.
Bets his ace king for 14,000.
I think Seaver's convinced himself he has a big pocket pair. I believe him. Glantz not so sure. Remember, Seaver covers his face so the other player can't get a read on him.
Glantz can see right through him and makes the call with top pair.
I'll say this, if Glantz is so convinced Seaver's got air, why not raise him and end the hand? What if Seaver spikes a big card on the river?
The river card is a 10, and the pair of 8s for Matt Glantz is best. Seaver, no springing into action, checks.
Well, Glantz might be thinking, what's the point of betting here? Because if Seaver comes back over the top, then he's got a tough decision to make.
He can take the safe route, or he can bet it. He checks.
Ace king.
Okay, both players check.
Ace king, no good here.
Pair.
Seaver learned something there from his elder.
Glantz opens the gap between these two.
Definitely learn a thing or two about hitting a pair.
Obviously, sign of respect, I don't bet the river.
I'm destined to final table this.
What's that?
I said I'm destined to final table this tournament. It's tough to go against that.
And Glantz is thinking, no, I'm destined to squash your youthful exuberance.
At table 3, Steve Sung moved all in and was called after the flop. Both he and Sean Buchanan with ace deuce and flop top pair, but Buchanan with a club flush draw.
Sung hoping for a chopped pot here. He needs to dodge a club.
Turn card is a club, and that is going to end that table. Sean Buchanan wins table 3 by knocking out Steve Sung. Buchanan gets 4 bounties and the bonus for winning the table for a total of $80,000 so far. Buchanan has assured himself of at least a share of the bounty lead going to the final table. Now only Luis Vasquez can catch him. Let's get back to the featured table here at the NAPT Mohegan Sun Bounty Shootout. Scott Seaver and Matt Glantz jousting for a seat at the final table. Glantz with a chip lead right now. Seaver looks down at Jack Tray of spades.
He's got the Farage Jaka.
Yeah, Jaka will play that all day. A raise to 2,200.
2,000.
Glantz with king 8 off.
These two guys have a nice chemistry with each other, almost like roommates getting under each other's skin.
A call from Glantz, and Seaver goes into his familiar pose. The flop is Jack 4-8. Seaver with top pair. Glantz hits middle pair. Glantz first to act. With his pair of 8s, he makes it 3,600.
Glantz trying to teach Seaver that middle pair is very good heads up.
Seaver knows top pair heads up is much better.
Well, then, Seaver should raise him and school the teacher in regard to top pair.
Oh, but he just calls.
You know, the way Scott sits like that, I don't see how he can ever smell the roses.
Third card now. Deuce of spades. Seaver adds a flush draw to his arsenal. Glantz Thinks about it and checks this time.
Seaver springs into action.